Right, so welcome to another video. A lot of people have messaged me and they've asked me questions such as what is my training like at the moment, and so I thought it might be a cool idea to actually show you guys. This is actually my first week on this plan. Just thought it'd be cool to talk a little bit about the plan and why I decided to start this plan and how the plan's going. Old School Iron, I don't know if any of you are aware of it. It's by a guy called Jeff Cavalier of Athlean-X. The reason why I chose to do this plan, or why I chose to go for his plan over anyone else, over the many years that I've been training, Athlean-X has probably been the #1 place I'd go to on YouTube for advice on workouts or technique when it comes to weight training. So I ended up looking on his website and I decided to give one of his workout plans a try. The situation I'm in, during the pandemic and stuff, the gyms were closing on and off for quite a while, and so consistency in my training wasn't really much there, and I'm still pretty much trying to recover from that. So my training, it's been a bit patchy and it's not really been consistent, and so it actually makes sense for me to actually give a workout program a go. The basis of the Old School Iron plan is in the first month it gives you a solid foundation of where to start. In order to lift heavy weights consistently, you need to make sure that you have a solid foundation of strength, and with the inconsistency that I've had over the last maybe 2-3 years, recognizing and sort of revisiting my strength levels at a base level is something that I really need to do. So on this day of the plan, you do 3 sets of 5 of deadlifts. And another thing I'll say is that even though I deadlift all the time, it actually does tire me out more. It's not the structure that I've recognized before, and that's something that was quite a surprise to me. If I don't have the structure there, I'm not going to feel as much of a result. It doesn't have to be a complex structure, it's just something where you have a basic set of rules that you track and you keep a record of, and you keep going week after week. But that's something I haven't done since the lockdown happened. Before lockdown, I was doing okay. I had a decent schedule set up and I was going well, but lockdown and the gyms closing and not being allowed to leave your house at certain times really messed things up, and this is my way of getting back to those levels. On the Old School Iron, obviously he makes you do the heavy lifts first because that recruits more of your central nervous system. You have to calculate your 1 rep max, and then he tells you to lift a certain percentage of your 1 rep max, and so that's what you do for 3 sets of 5, which doesn't sound like a lot, and it isn't really a lot. As it's 3 sets of 5 and it's set in a structure, it should tire you out more. All of the exercises he tells you to do work together to sort of come together and build strength in the areas that you need to build strength. So basically, if your goal is to lift heavier on deadlift and smash numbers every week, then you're gonna need to do something like this in a structured routine. And what I like about it is that a lot of the time people think that you need to be in like pain and be straining for every single rep when it comes to deadlifts, and that's not really the case. You can still get real effect out of a deadlift without straining yourself or without busting a blood vessel every time you do a deadlift. I know videos on Instagram and TikTok will have you think that you need to damn near break your back in order to get a good deadlift in, but you really don't need to. If you've got a sort of focused and structured training plan, you don't need to strain yourself with deadlifts in order to see growth. So I'd really encourage people to look at some sort of strength training or deadlift plan if you are struggling to get your numbers up. So I did 3 sets of 5 on the deadlifts and it went okay, no complaints there. Another thing with this plan is that you only have 2 minutes rest in between sets. That's something that really has made a difference to me, because like I said, before I had any sort of workout plan, a lot of the time I'd be on my phone being distracted in between sets, but having this sort of regiment and structure, I actually know that I have 2 to 3 minutes between each set, and so that really helps me keep things focused and I'm not in the gym pissing about using Instagram and, you know, wasting time really. After deadlifts, you go on to overhead press, which of course works your shoulders and a bit of your chest. This is an upper body strength move. Normally I would have a leg day, and then 2 other days I'd have push day, which was obviously chest day, and then a pull day, which was back day. And that's how my workout was structured back before I started this program. But now this program's got you doing deadlifts, overhead press in the same day, and that's been a bit of a weird adjustment to me because I'm so not used to doing that. Another day's workout would be squats. After squats you do bench press, and then after that you do pull-ups. So it's basically a whole body or a total body workout, and that's not really a way that I've trained in a long time. The only times I used to train like that is when I was in like high school and I was doing sports and we had quite limited time in the gym, and we just do everything and anything in whatever order. For years I've been doing legs on their own day, chest on their own day, and back on their own day, and this plan, I wouldn't say shocked my body, but it's given me a jolt in the right direction. And as they say, it's good to surprise your body every now and then, and yeah, my body's really been surprised. So yeah, 3 sets of 5 on the overhead press, and like I said, the plan, it tells you what percentage of weight you should do compared to your 1 rep max. And then after the overhead press, I went on to, what's it called, barbell curls. It's a pretty simple exercise. I made sure I left the rack to do these because, as you know, the cardinal sin is not to do bicep curls in the squat rack. You have to do these ones until failure, so it doesn't really matter how much weight you put on there. Some of the exercises he gives you, you're instructed to do them until you lose form or until you're unable to do anymore, so you're basically going until failure. And that's something that I sometimes did right at the end, because going until failure, that is where the muscle fiber is at its weakest point, and that is where you're going to see the most change, when you're going right until failure. So quite a few of the moves on this plan ask you to go until failure, which is why a lot of people think this plan is really tough, because going until failure, it really does strain your body. So I was going to failure or lack of, the way he says it is you go until failure or you go until lack of form. And so yeah, after the bicep curls, you go on to, what's it called, the dips, weighted dips. You do 10 reps on the dips. I go until on the last set, as I was saying, you go until failure. So you have to make sure that you keep the form in the best way possible. Make sure that your form is as close to perfect as you can. There's no mirrors in this section of the gym, but if you need to make sure that your form is on point, then just make sure you do it without any weights. Or there are ways you can do the tricep dip with a resistance band, which doesn't put as much strain on your shoulders, if you do need to get your form down before you start adding weights or doing it with just your body weight, depending on where your strength is at. But I was doing these with 20 kilogram weight. Tricep dips are probably one of my favorite exercises. It just works everything. You got your triceps, your chest, your shoulders. So if you can get good at tricep dips and you can do them with proper form, you will really see changes in your body. I'm just talking to people who may be designing their own workouts to build muscle. Tricep dips are a great exercise. Make sure you include them in your workout. And so after the tricep dips, you go into Bulgarian squats, and I hate these. I have to go quite slow with these because I had an injury. On my left side, I've got a small sort of injury. But this is a great exercise. It really strengthens your glute, which is a very important muscle, and these are a great exercise for training obviously your legs. You got your quadriceps getting worked there, and then also you've got your glutes getting a very good workout with this Bulgarian squat. The main reason why the Bulgarian squat is in this plan is because if you're looking to go big on deadlifts and squats, your glutes are gonna need to be strong. That is something that I neglected for a very, very long time. I had the sort of mind frame that if you go into the gym and you do squats and deadlifts, then automatically all of these lower body muscle groups are gonna get strengthened, and it's so not the case. I've had small injuries over the years, and one of the recurring themes is that my glute muscles aren't activated or they're just weak. So I've really had to focus on strengthening my glute muscles, and it's something that I sort of didn't know. I honestly used to think that if you just go and do deadlifts or squats, all of these things are going to automatically figure themselves out and your glutes will get stronger, and it's not the case. Even more so if you're somebody who sits down a lot, like I used to, like if you've got an office job or you sit down, I don't know, driving a car a lot, your glute muscles are going to be very weak. It's a very good idea to make sure that your glute muscles are strong. Even if you have no intention of going to the gym and you have no intention of doing deadlifts or anything like that, try and test and see how strong your glutes are, because your glutes are very much neglected, and there's a lot of people walking around and they're probably getting injuries all the time due to them having weak glutes. And I was one of those people, and it's only recently I've realized that my glute muscles have been neglected for so long. So yeah, that is one thing I'd tell people to have a look out for. But that pretty much is the last exercise of the workout. Another thing I like about this workout program is that if at the end of the given exercises you feel that you have more energy and you want to do more exercises, there's like a bonus button that you can press, and if you want to get more exercises, he'll suggest even more exercises for you to try out, just to tag them onto the end of the exercises you've already done on any specific day, which I think is really good. So yeah, that's pretty much the program I'm doing currently. It's called Old School Iron if you want to try it out. I hope it's helped anybody who may want to maybe go for the workout plan themselves. Let me know in the comments below if you do a workout plan and how it's going for you, because I'm really interested to know what other people do when they get in the gym. Whether you just freestyle it like I used to for a few years, or if you go to the gym and you actually record your sets and your weights and you actually go there with a strict plan. Let me know what your workouts are like. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.